Hi guys, Phoenix here. I was thinking I'd do a quick video today on how to set up Netdata, which is a performance monitoring tool that I came across yesterday or so, and I figured I'd just do a quick overview and installation tutorial on how to set it up on a Linux VPS or any Linux server mostly. So to start off, Netdata, as you can see, is a open source performance monitoring tool, which is a very lightweight monitoring tool, unlike the other ones that you see out there that are heavily CPU intensive. With Netdata, it only uses about 100 megs of RAM or less, since it collects everything, which I was very surprised at first when I installed it on my two VPSs, which I have set up with Netdata. Basically, I thought they were going to use up a lot of memory and usage since, it was gathering processes every single second, but when I looked at it, it was very lightweight, which I was very surprised with. So I figured I'd show you guys on how to set it up on your servers, so you wouldn't have to spend thousands of dollars on a tool like this that is open source and free for anyone to use. So just a quick overview here. If you see, once you log into Netdata or once you open it, you'll see a quick dashboard or a quick overview, which is your CPU, your inbound traffic, your outbound traffic, your disk write, your disk read, and this is kind of a quick look, so you don't have to scroll down here on the side to get your information, but you can do that if you want to. So if you look on the side here, on the right hand side, you see, under system overview, you see, your CPU, your disk, your RAM, etc. So if I click on network, for example, it'll actually go down very quickly and it'll instantly show me total IPv4 traffic read from proc/net/netstat, and this is actually real time every single second and not every 5 minutes, 10 minutes, 15 minutes, whatever, whatever the other processing tools use or performance tools use to get data from servers or other web-based hosting performance monitoring tools. Basically, if we scroll down here, you can see in detail number of processes created per second. We can also see network interfaces. For example, we could see this is my Ethernet 0, so not really much is going on since I don't use it for much. So actually, it's just kilobits going out 554, 253, so it's actually pretty low end right now. But if I went to download something or upload something, you would see the spike instantly, so it actually gets it real time, which is actually pretty neat. So if you're under a DDoS attack, you could actually see that going up, and it'll actually notify you if something. You can actually set a threshold, so if it goes up a certain number, you would actually get an email alert to your email account from Netdata from your server. If we scroll down here, you can also see NGINX. You can also monitor MySQL. You can also set up your own custom filters, which I will do a video on later on in the future once I get my hands deeper into Netdata and how it really works. So if we scroll down to NGINX, we can see inbound connections, so you can see your web server. So if there's too many connections going on, you will see that. So it's just kind of a quick way to take a look at your server without SSHing and doing bash scripts, Python scripts, a bunch of other things that you would have to run or install. This way it's just a simple, easy interface for anyone to manage their server quickly without going through a bunch of hassle just to see a single process. So to install Netdata, it's actually pretty straightforward. So I will have all the links in this video in my description or on the Foolish IT channel, depending on where the video gets uploaded to. So basically, there are a few tools that you have to get installing or install first. So I will have this page in the description below. So basically, there are two scripts. So one for basic Netdata installation. So if you just want a very basic one without MySQL, Maria, and database or named or SNMP or hardware sensors, and just want a simple interface or a simple sleek setup, you can just do the first one. If you want all the packages for SNMP, alerts, that kind of thing, like everything, you could also do the second one, which I've done. So either or doesn't matter since they are very low resource wise. So I'm going to do the second one, for example. So the best way to do it is just to copy and paste into your terminal, Terraterm, Putty, whatever you want to use. So and these two VPSs already have Netdata set up, but I'm still going to walk you through the script so you can easily just copy and paste without typing it each time. So this way, using curl, basically what it'll do, it'll download all the packages it needs before you actually install Netdata, and then you can actually run the Netdata installer to install and compile Netdata on your server. So once you do this, you can see it'll do sudo apt-get install, and then it will install those, Python, MySQL, YAM or YMAL, UID, dev, zlib, etc. So basically it will just install those packages automatically, and then you just press enter to run it. Of course, it's going to ask for my password if you're not sudo. So if you just do sudo curl whatever, it'll still prompt you for the password. Or if you just logged in as root, you just have to copy and paste that command, press enter, and it'll automatically do it. Oops. So basically I already did this beforehand just to save some time. So if when you do this, it will download all the packages. It'll probably take about less than 30 seconds or so, depending on the network speed of your server and what limits you have on the network. So after that is done, if you scroll down to install Netdata, you have to have Git installed on your system. So basically, if you're on Debian, sudo apt-get install Git, or you can just Google how to install Git on your system. So it's actually pretty straightforward. What this command will do is actually git clone will clone the repo to your system locally, like it'll download it, and then you'll cd to the directory, to the Netdata directory, and then you'll run the /netdata installer bash script, and then that will automatically compile it and then install it and start Netdata once you get it set up. Do note that you have to run the /netdata installer.sh as sudo, or if you're logged in as root, because that's what Netdata prefers to get all the processes it needs to provide you with the real-time data. So next we're just going to clone it, which in my case Netdata already exists since I already cloned it beforehand. So if I do an ls or dir, basically you can see Netdata on the directory, so cd Netdata. So right then and there, pretty straightforward. Once we're in there, or wherever you want to put it, all you have to do is copy this command. You can do sudo /netdata, since you have to run it as admin, because it needs to be run as root in order to get all the processes, since unless you have everything set as root or root privileges. So if you don't have root privileges, then you may have to ask your administrator or network admin to install this for you if they allow it, due to corporate policy or whatever. So once we do this, enter in my password, YubiKey, get that, and then once you enter in your credentials, you get to press enter to build and install Netdata on your system. Press enter, it'll do the configuring. Probably usually takes about a minute or so on a VPS. This is a SSD based VPS, so if you have a hard drive based VPS or server, then it may take probably about a minute or two, depending on how many processes you're running or how much of a load you have on that system. So if you're just installing it on a home server, then probably less than a minute. So as you can see, Netdata is already installed, so it's pretty straightforward. So in this case, I already know my IP address, so all you have to do is that your server IP : your port number, which is 19999 by default. You can change this by default if you go to the wiki page on the Firehall GitHub and just read through it, or you can Google it. I might do a video on it in the future. So if I go to my VPS here, so as you can see, this is my VPS that I installed it on. Obviously it's not working at the moment, so let me try this. There we go. So like I showed you on the other server, it's pretty straightforward. All the quick dashboard, your disk read, CPU, etc. Your CPUs, your disk usage. So you can set these up if you want. So it's actually pretty straightforward. So like I said, it's very lightweight. So if we actually go to my server and do htop, which is a command-based CPU, you can actually look at the threads over here, and it's only using about 245 meg, which out of 3 gig, so it's not too bad on a load. I'm not sure how well it'll run on a Pi. I'm guessing pretty well if you're not running a bunch of other things on it, so it shouldn't be that much. So it's actually pretty good for a tool. So that's about it for this tutorial. Just a side note, or a few more things before I wrap up. If you want to check for updates, you can click up over here, and then you can hit check now, and I'll actually go out to the GitHub repo, say new version of Netdata is available. I'll also put a updating script in the description below. That is a batch script that will go up to the GitHub repo, download the latest commit or from the developers, then reinstall Netdata on your system. That is the only way to update it right now, but it'll check it, for Firehall, FireQoS, etc. So it's actually pretty straightforward. So you can click here for changelog, click here for directions on updating. So you can also, if you click on the gear over here, you can click on performance, synchronization, real-time data, so on and so forth. You can also change the theme from light to dark. You can see like little help sections. You can shut that off if needed, or you can turn it on if you just want to have them on your server. If you click on the bell over here, you can actually see raised alarm. So this is just a example alarm that they set up. So you can set up your own if you want, for like disk I/O usage, network interfaces, QoS or quality of service. So there's a lot of neat things that you can do with Netdata since they're constantly being updated, and it's I think Windows support will be out soon. I don't know when, but when that is, I'll make a video to how to set it up on Windows. So that's about it. So if you guys enjoyed this video, give it a like, or if you have any questions, you can contact me on IRC on the Foolish Tech Show IRC Monday through Friday, or you can just go to foolishit.com/live, get all the hours there, so on and so forth. I'll also have my contact information in the description, like Jabber, IRC, etc. So that's about it. This is Phoenix. Thank you for watching, and I will see you guys in the next video.